Yeah, it's the Archivist, y'all. Exclusively interviewing Mr. KIllah Priest.
Yeah.
Out of Sunz Of Man, Maccabeez, Wu Tang Clan.
Yeah.
And who is the Iron Sheik from the Middle East, the one and only KIllah Priest?
Yeah. The Iron Sheik is just like, is where I come, mystical, strong, and that's a part of the style, you know what I mean? The iron part really comes from the pen, you know what I mean? The pen is the iron, and it, you know, and that's the Sheik part is what I represent, you know what I mean? Anything east and anything far east, so, you know what I mean? Before Western medicine.
And back from the days of the Gravediggaz, Diary of a Madman, and Sunz Of Man, with albums The Last Shall Be First and The First Testament, the inspiration behind them, as well as any memories you like to elaborate on.
Yo, when you talk about The Last Shall Be First and the Sunz Of Man, that's the beginning stage. That's like Firehouse. You had me, Shabazz, the Disciple, and HeavenRazah, and Prodigal Son and 60-Second Assassin. You know, that's the original members, you know, including my man Timbo, but he was doing the Roy FM, but that's the original members right there. We was in a break of just doing Gravediggaz, shout out, rest in peace to my man Poetic, and RZA right there. That was my little baby right there. You know, I built with RZA on this because I was in so many things. You know, me and 60 had a little solo group, so there's different things going on in there. Me and Baz, you know what I mean? So it's like, and me and Prodigal Son. So then when we put it all together, it was just like, you know, because RZA came through Shabazz and all of that, and then that's how it formed up. And, you know, they asked me to be on the Gravediggaz. I kicked the rhyme that, you know, I don't think that RZA was real happy with, but everybody loved it, you know what I mean? When I came there, it was my first time really getting in the studio. You know, I was used to rhyming on the street and just doing things like that. Sort of like freestyle, what we call it today. You know, that's how we did it.
And one of my favorite compilations, America is Dyin Slowly, your contribution to the performance on MTV, Performing America, that was a golden moment for hip-hop.
Man, let me say thank you, man. First, I want to say thank you. Those times was great memories for me, and looking back at it is like I wouldn't have it no other way. You know, coming up with America is Dyin Slowly, that was another acronym that I had during the time of basic instruction before leaving Earth. So, you know, that was just little things that we had. We put it together, me, Ray. Ray didn't even want to get on it when I spit my verse. He was like, yo, I'm getting on that. So that made me feel good, you know, coming from a legend like himself. It fell in place like that. Next thing you know, we performing at MTV. I didn't even take it serious back then. Yeah.
And on to your first solo record, Heavy Mental, Most Def, a 90s classic ranking number 4 from Cross My Heart and Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth, sharing the accomplishment of this record.
Oh, man. see, he pulled out the original right here. Right here, yeah, that's where it all started at. My first solo album, Heavy Mental. Yeah, it was very good times recording this. You know, shout outs to Fourth Disciple, who was like the ink of this album. You know, me and him was like in the forefront in the studio alone, just zoning out. Also, we brought other elements as time went on and, you know, things progressed. And the grassroots is Fourth Disciple. Then we went and got True Master, Workin, and then all the featured artists. You know, RZA was actually on Cross My Heart. Nobody probably don't know that. That's a quick story. He was on Cross My Heart before Deck. It was me, RZA, and then Jizza. So, and then RZA was like, yo, I don't feel right on that song. Let Deck get on it. So that's how Deck got on that verse.
And many more incredible albums from View From Masada, Priesthood, Black August, The Offering, and Behind Stained Glass, Elizabeth, sharing the creativity and the inspirations and what you were going through on each of them.
Okay, we could do that. After Heavy Mental, my debut album, Geffen was breaking apart, joined it like afterwards and stuff, and I was still looking for more videos. You know, I never did a video for B.I.B.L.E, and you know, which first came out on Liquid Swords. So this was my time. We was talking about doing a video for B.I.B.L.E, and I think that would have catapulted somewhere else. And I was working on other videos. You know, we did Half Fake MCs. You know, I wanted to do videos for Wisdom, things of that nature. But then some label crap happened and it broke up, and then they ended up going to MCA. Everybody except me. I mean, this is real talk. So MCA didn't take me right off top, and so I started, you know, just working things out on my own. And then MCA came back to me with a big offer. And that's when I started getting, put on to the independent move, because I was going that route anyway because I didn't know what to do. They was telling me that they wasn't shooting no more videos. So it was a wild part. Wendy Day, shout out to Wendy Day. She kind of helped me out during those times. And she was kind of sour, kind of bitter. I love you still, Wendy Day. She was kind of bitter because I ended up going back with a major. And we was talking about all of this stuff, but, my cousin was the one, Kev, rest in peace though, but he was the one like, yo, get your money and then you could, that's what I did. And I went back to MCA and we recorded View From Masada. During that time, that's where I met up with Just Blaze, and that's where, me and Just Blaze got real tight, and, he was just coming up. He didn't really produce for anybody, here and there. He got little artists, here and there, but, we were working, man, and that's how View From Masada had started. After View From Masada, the label got involved with that because they were kind of like real stiff on me. I didn't like the fact that they chose me last anyway. And I didn't know how it was because I was already working with Geffen. When I went to MCA, the same people who were with Geffen were at MCA. So it was a merger, so it kind of threw me off because I was like, okay, it'll be new people. And it was the same people when I got up there. And I was like, well, what's going on? I thought this was another label. So my shout outs to Wendy Goldstein also, She helped me. She the one that first started me in my career. And, she signed me first. But I saw the same people when I was at MCA. And I was like bugging because I was like, well, I just got off that bandwagon of Geffen. But why are they still here? And I didn't understand the whole politics part of it, and that's a part of being young in the game. So that's what happened with that. And then so I didn't like what was going on. And they were kind of like steering my album, and she came up and told me, yo, Priest, your album don't sound right. With this dude, Geffen, and then they put me with Don Pooh. Don Pooh was the one that he ended up being my A&R. He worked with Foxy and a lot of people like that. So that kind of like altered my sound a little bit because they wanted a hit or whatever they said. But MCA didn't stand behind it. Being a major labels, they don't really, I didn't compromise my style always. I mean, not at all. But I had a beat that was made by Hrsemen, the one who made Put Your Eyes Where Your Hands Can See. And it's called I'm With That. And they didn't even go with that with the single. So we ended up going with another single, with my man, shout outs to Razkaz. And that's how that happened. So that was the end of, and I was very upset of how the way they handled things. So there you go with the KIllah Priest saga, starting from there to independent and what I gotta do. So.
And more projects, they keep coming, from Black August Revisited, The Prelude to the Offering, I Killed the Devil Last Night, The Exorcist, the 3-Day Theory mixtapes, and what else? A collab with Immortal Technique and The Offering.
Yeah.
Serious.
Okay, yeah, so like I said, man, I don't want to turn this into a big story, but yeah, so after that, that's when I first started on the Priesthood project. That was my first project with no label support. It was just me and this guy named Louis Lombard, I may have heard Cannabis mention him, he worked with him. That could have been a good situation, but that ended up getting stupid because of greed. But the music was good because it came from a real place. The place that I was into at that is this, like, I'm coming out first time. This is something from me and here, this is like that. That didn't work out. We were signed to Selecto Hits. I can't believe I remember all of this, but so we went to Selecto Hits. From there, I came back to New York because I went to Cali and I went back to New York and I started working on Black August. And Black August was and I started there and then I came back to Cali and we were working. Black August was my comeback album. You know what I mean? That's how I saw it. Like, okay, you did that. Now, Priest, get back to your real true album. So Black August, begin to work on with Jay from Mainflow and them. So, yeah, he's an incredible producer. He did writing, stuff like that. So we did that situation. And then I tried to go back into the majors like a dummy, But, I just had some cats that was supporting me. But they was like, yo, we can't use all of this. And that's how Black August Revisited started, And I'm big up to Dreddy Cougar because he did come in and help me and put that out during that time. So Black August Revisited came out. Then finally we come to the Offering. Yeah. So I took a break from it. And then I got in touch with Tragedy Khadafi. me and Trash talked, and we was talking about this Maccabeez. I had so much, man, going on in my head, and I wasn't really getting into the studio, but I just kept visualizing something dope. So I told Trash, yo, it would be dope if we come out with me and you, we'd be like a new Mobb Deep. You know what I mean? Because Trash was grinding too, and he was with that. And William Cooper was the one that put that together. So that's how I got back in the studio, talking to HeavenRazah. I grabbed HeavenRazah and Timbo, and I was like, yo, we got to come up with a group, man, Maccabeez, right? The name of our album was going to be called Black Market.
Militia.
So yeah, Black Market Militia. But that it turned into a group because that was the Maccabeez album title. And then we liked the name so much that Trash and William Cooper, we all said, yo, let's name it Black Market, and we rolled like that with all of us. That's how the offering was born. That's how I got back in the studio. Razor bought me some beats, and we was in the studio, and I was kind of, it was my ex at the time. It was like, yo, I met this investor, why don't you get back in the studio? That's how it started. We got in the studio, we started recording, and that's how the offering, I got that charge of energy and looking at it, and then I got the idea of just looking at some stained glass pictures, and that's how I came up with the title, with the whole thing, and that's how it started, man. The offering started from there. Met up with my man Amal McCaskill, shout out, and he is another investor because that's all I kept saying, get invested, get invested. My man Amal, he spearheaded it. I got with him, and that's the offering. And I got crazy reviews on that. And then I got up with Nas, and I wanted some more people on the album. I wasn't in touch with everybody, from the clan because I was going through it at the same time. We was trying to make something happen, So we ended up getting in touch with Nas. We seen him at a little bar or whatever, and me and him talked and we kicked it. And Nas was like, yo, send me the joint, man. We just going through it, and I'll blaze it for you. We ended up doing 2 joints, The other one's Crime Cardinals, and that's how that started. And then, so the thing was, at that time, I was going to go with Nature Sounds, I believe. I don't know what label we was going to go through, but I was so much hugging that album because I didn't want to release it wrong. And then we end up going to Traffic, and that wasn't a good move for that type of track. But, at the time, we was like, fuck it, let's go get them. And, it came out with Traffic. And then from there, I went and I put out the Behind the Stained Glass of, moving to Cali. I made the whole transition, going out to Cali. And there you go. I met Wool and through Prodigal Son, and we started working together. And then we put something together that was, it was right on time. My sister had passed away, and it was like, yo, let's do something different than the offering. I don't know if fans, gonna say it, but that's real talk. So.
And Sons of Thunder, the Maccabeez, and the Wu Tang Clan and the Hrsemen. When's the CD dropping, and what can we expect?
The Hrsemen album we did, it's always this part right here. When you talk about the Hrsemen, you talk about 4 individuals who always got something going on. We needed to be committed for even getting in the studio. We got I don't know, I want to say good 13, 14 songs done. So we got an album done, and we just got to go back in. Razkaz is the one that was spearheading that, making sure that right. It used to be me, Cannabis, but Raz it was me and Raz, so Raz is keeping that, and Corrupt comes through when he comes through, so he makes it, he's on it, so trust me, Corrupt, it's like when you call him, that's gonna come soon. The Maccabeez album is long awaited, right? It's long awaited, man. When I was so messed up when HeavenRazah got sick because he's like, the energy behind it. He's like, yo, he got so much energy even now. When he called me up, he's got so much energy of putting stuff and doing stuff and wanting to do this and do that it motivates me. So just to see him, and I still love his energy. So that didn't stop him. He's back, and he's everything working slower. That kind of hurt, the Maccabeez when you don't have a cat like that. And yeah, you could throw the football too, and he gonna score a touchdown or yards. But you got Daddy Rose, who came home. You got Salahuddin, who I built with, the original Maccabeez, and that's it. And you got that, and you got Timbo on the cut. So we're gonna work on something soon. I'm just trying to get this.
And Beneath the Surface with GZA and a cameo you made in Made You Look by Nas. let us know about the 5 boroughs.
Wow. Beneath the Surface came working at Alien Flyers. That was my gift to GZA. As you say, he never even see me lay that verse down. You know, he just came in and what I heard is he really liked it. You know what I mean? So when I was in the studio, Dreddy Cougar came and I ran in on a GZA session and they was playing the beat and I was like, let me lace this for him. And I just laid that for him and he loved it, man, and he laid his verse. That's how it happened. He was just like, yo, I was in the studio one time and he didn't even ask me to be on that track, but it was like, yo, that's the beat. I believe that was it. And I just, dude was in the studio and I left. I didn't see him. Next thing you know, he like, yo, he called me up, Priest. Yo, wait till you hear what I did to that shit. So that's how that went. Me and Nas is always cool. Every time we see each other, it's always love. He told me to be in the video, man. And, you know, he gave me a part and I went there and we shot it up, you know. But during our business ventures, we don't stick around too long, man. We both got things going, you know, that's how it is. And he shot me in the video. That was cool, I thought.
And PWOWR, The Psychic Ward, and Walter Reed, Heavy and Heavier Mental, share on the new projects.
The album is done. The album is done. This is it. Psychic World of Walter Reed is done. There's no more. All I just added a singer. You know what I mean? That's nothing. So, but it's going to be, it makes a difference because I was trying to get Erykah Badu on this or one of them, but I got somebody that's crazy up and coming, man. Me and Ghost discovered her. She's going to be incredible. She's from Canada, actually. Her name is Alida. So look out for her. She's going to be incredible. When she dropped, I've never heard a voice so powerful. You know what I mean? And me and Ghost, he's the one that told me about her. I mean, we kind of met her and was like, yo, it was like another, when they met Blu Razberri. Blu Raz is, that's Ghost and Raekwon artist, really. And I gave her that name, so I feel good. Yeah. So we got another one, Alida, coming out. That's it. The Psychic World of Walter Reed, it sounds, wait till y'all hear that, man. That might be my heavier mental. That's what I'm saying. It's like the heavier offering, let's put it that way. And I got with my boys back. I got back with all the original cats, you know, as far as my Wu family. I got Fourth Disciple, I got RZA, I got Ghosrtface and Raekwon, and I mean, as much as I could get. Dak, you know, they came through. I wasn't able to get Nas on his, even though I was still waiting for a verse from him. That would have been great. Let's see what happens, but you know, I only hold it back. I said I was going to drop it January 30th, but I'm putting that back. But yeah, I got to. I'm on the road, man. So that's going to be pushed back, but it's done. So it's coming. You know what I mean? That's all I got to say is that the album is The Psychic World of Walter Reed. It's all that.
Anything to add to our incredible interview?
Oh, man, yeah, this interview is crazy. It's the inside look to what's coming, you know what I mean, to the future. I want to shout out Lost Children of Babylon, you know what I mean? I want to shout out everybody out there, King David, you know what I mean, King David and them. I want to shout out my man Neptali. I want to shout out everybody that's out there that's doing their thing, you know what I mean? Keep it going, keep your head up. I want to shout out much love to DJ Notion and all of them dudes that's out there that's doing their thing. You know?
And now you're on tour with R.A. the Rugged Man.
Shout out to R.A. the Rugged Man. You know what I mean? Shout out R.A. the Rugged Man. Shout out to Noisy Neighbors. Shout out to everybody that I work with and everybody that I'm going to be working with. You know what I mean? Shout out to Nas and definitely big shout out to Ghosrtface. You know what I mean? Ghostface Killah, very intelligent brother, you know what I mean, as well brother, and Raekwon, you know what I mean.
And share about the tour that you were on with Ghosrtface.
That was the most funniest, most greatest experience, you know, I mean, I've been around for a long time, and it was great to see how, you know, I've been on tour with GZA, and, you know, GZA's an expert of what he do, you know what I mean. Ghost is more like, you know what I mean, being on there, I learned a lot from Ghost. He has, like, routines. His is, like, taking it back to early hip hop, and you know his whole line of work is different than GZA's line of work. Put it that way, and I learned a lot from both of them. I gotta say that Ghosrtface is being around him is experience. You know what I mean? Brother is well on point. He's very sharp. He got good eyes. I call him like a quarterback. That's what I call, because he's always on point and stuff like that. So.
And the largest tour and the biggest crowd you've ever rocked?
That would be with Raekwon. That would be in Brazil. We did a soccer ball stadium. I never did nothing that big before. We've been on plenty stages that had a lot, but that was big. And one of the cats was crying on stage, and that's what sticks in my head.
And the best hip hop memory you've been part of or contributed to?
I can laugh about too. Some of it's funny. I can't even say it yet, man. As soon as you asked me, because it was some of his moments, man. I would have to say, it's so many, man. I would have to put Ghosrtface Tour #1 on so much, because it was so much hilarious stuff going on in Canada. Being with that dude and his entourage and Sheik Luch. Shout out to Sheik Luch too, and DJ Symphony. One incident that's just hilarious. It just rings out, but it's Ghosrtface Tour in Canada so far.
And you got any shouts?
KIllahPriest.com. You know what I mean? You can check that out. Catch me on Twitter. I want to shout out who else I want to shout out? The Hrsemen, definitely. HeavenRazah get well soon. Shabazz, the disciple, whom I just ran into back in Cali. Big up to Zariah too. He just asked me to get in the studio. That's my son, and he's starting back up. You know what I mean? So he was on the Offering album on the song PJs.
And shouts to Where It's At Entertainment and KIllah Priest.
Yo, shout outs to Where's That Entertainment. Hold up, shout out to Daddy Rose. We're gonna get together soon. You know what I mean? Big influence. Very sharp brother. Daddy Rose and I want to say Slowly. And shout out to Archivist. Man, this dude, he pulls so much out of you, man. And shout out to Callisto and Bobby and God's Wrath. Everybody will help. Purpose. Definitely my man from Canada, St. Peter, who's on the album, came through at the last minute and made that touchdown. You know what I mean?
And this is the Archivist, and you already know the name, y'all.
Yeah, you know it. Priesthood and Ayatollah, one love.